So, welcome to another bonus episode of Fire Emblem Three Houses. Yep, Byleth is sad again. Because we're on chapter 11, we're on chapter 10 of the Black Eagles route because... Oh, I have like 70 jillion supports. Let's, that's the Spyro DLC, by the way, just popping up for that. Not that you need to know. But, anyway, I do actually have a paralogue here that I have not done on the other route. So, I thought I may as well record my reaction to that. This paralogue is for Ignatz and Raphael. Basically, I only have one of those two. And that person is... yeah, you probably saw, it's Ignatz. So, I was not intending to recruit Ignatz, I only had a C support with him. I just talked to him and just chose recruit on a whim, and he just decided to join, out of nowhere, which is kind of funny. He's trained, like, in both swords and bows right off the bat, so maybe he'd make a decent assassin. But anyway, he's a little low of a level for that one. So, I'm actually trying to recruit Leonie, but she hasn't joined yet. It's really weird, she's at a B support and everything. But anyway, so we're going to be doing this one. Now, first thing that I have to say about this is that I kind of saw elements of this paralogue at E3 footage. So I kind of know the basic premise already. And the other thing that I want to say about this paralogue is that its name, for me, is kind of hard for me to take seriously because it makes me think of, the death toll is catastrophic. We must bow to their wishes. You must contact me. Yeah, I love Star Wars Episode 1 dialogue for all the wrong reasons. Anyway, let's deploy. That said, it's still a pretty dark name for a paralogue.
So, basically we just gotta defeat their leader, right?
Okay, we're discussing a defeat boss map that we don't really know much context of.
Then why don't we approach from... that won't work at all. Horses won't fit through there.
I just realized that, he has yellow eyes, and it reminds me of either a Shadow or a Xehanort.
I can't figure this out. I give up. But enemies never move how you want them to in a real battle, do they?
Now's the moment of truth. We have to find out if the aggro lines are gonna lie to me again. They probably will. Because I know the AI would not be able to resist killing Caspar. Yep! Liar, 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 pants on fire. A bit of lampshade hanging of occasionally lying aggro lines there.
I reckon I learned better on the battlefield.
Professor, I need to speak with you.
Ignatz, you alright?
I received a letter from my brother back home. There's some disturbing news. Monsters have been attacking merchants within the Alliance territories.
That happens all the time. I mean, that's how my parents died, so...
Raphael, I didn't mean to bring up such a sensitive topic in your presence.
Hey, don't worry about that. Come on, let's hear the rest of it.
Very well. These attacks seem to be focused on specific merchants. Those who are traveling from the territory of House Gloucester to the Regan Dukedom. Merchants traveling in the opposite direction, from Regan to Gloucester, don't suffer nearly as many attacks.
That doesn't make any sense. Someone's gotta deal with those monsters, though.
Yeah, this is before we know that the Empire has been working on experimental monsters, so... Yeah, it seems a bit weird that monster attacks are being specifically targeted.
Agreed. At this rate, my father and brother can't conduct business without risking their lives.
So yeah, we know that he's the son of some Alliance merchants.
Professor, could you assist me? I need your help exterminating these creatures.
Now you're talking. I'm going too. I'm not learning anything in a classroom. You're gonna go, right, Professor? Don't you want to help these folks?
Yep, let's go.
Yeah, I knew you couldn't resist.
Thank you so much, Professor. And Raphael, I can't begin to express my gratitude.
Even though we probably won't end up supporting on this route, because I doubt I'll end up recruiting Raphael. So the location of this map looks a little bit different than the one for Lorenz's paralogue, so... Oh, by the way, this screenshot here from that first mock battle, I was just looking back at early pre-release screenshots that I was using for some of my original My Thoughts On videos at the initial announcement, and I noticed that Hilda's portrait was very different in the original, in the early prototype, and oh, it is the same map. Okay, then. Alliance soldiers. Interesting. And this monster is red, not... Okay, so it is technically counted as a different faction, but that's interesting. Yeah, I was hoping this map would be different, but it doesn't look like it is. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I remember reacting badly to this when I saw this at E3. I was like, oh, no, herp derps are back. Instead of herp derp villagers, they're herp derp merchants. Well, at least they have... Wow, they're a bit more well-protected than your average herp derp NPC, because they actually have merchant military with poison barrels. But, yeah, I wonder about this. There's a lot of Alliance soldiers here. Yeah, it does seem like the Alliance being very fractured is kind of a plot point on the Golden Deer route. And we have this guy, who looks exactly the same as Annette's uncle. Defeat the enemy commander, but is it the monster, or is it that guy? Well, the monster's shown as red. Maybe it's actually the same faction, but how could they have tamed a monster? I guess we'll find out soon. So, okay, I'm guessing that Ignatz and Raphael are forced to be deployed on opposite sides. Yeah, there he is. Oh, he starts really far back, and I can't change his position. But anyway, yeah, he's a brawler, and he can use the greatest weapon of all, unarmed. C in brawling and E in everything else. Now, in terms of deployments, is there anyone that I can afford? Oh, yeah, I've recruited Hanneman and Manuela on this route, by the way. Yeah, I did use Caspar in the last one. Ferdinand's already a paladin, and he's a little ahead of everyone else, so... may as well drop him in favor of Caspar, because Caspar's not quite level 20 yet. Oh, by the way, Ingrid's a Pegasus Knight now. And she has that Devil Sword that I picked up in Lawrence's Paralog, so hey, you can actually see a little bit of continuity, even though I'm barely showing any of this route. Okay. There are probably, yep, there are archers galore over there. But there's more archers on the other side, so Petra going this way is probably... Actually, no, she could head down and fight these axemen. And Hubert, Caspar... I suppose Edelgard being over there is not the end of the world. And I suppose... Oh, actually, no, Edelgard's got better movement now. I keep forgetting that she's not an armor knight. Where should I put my dancer? Is the thing. Got Lorenz here. Yeah, I have a healer there. Do I have a healer on... I don't think I... Yeah, I probably should put Dorothea over here. I don't know why I called her Bernadetta, because, yeah, she has healing magic. Okay. Battalion, nope. Battalion replenish. Go. Oh, you don't even have one, do you? I always want to take that, because I feel like a bit of extra attack power would definitely help him. Oh, of course, I only have one Stride battalion on this route. Well, at least Byleth can take some better battalions now. Well, that's kind of painfully ironic, you taking Knights of Seros, but yeah, I guess I'll go for that right now. I think I'm fine on items and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and save, and go!
Monsters! Be gone!
Places, everyone! Yep, you weren't there on the original screen. Oh, okay.
Look, the monsters are attacking those merchants again.
Help! Monsters are attacking our trade routes!
Looks like there's some humans mixed in there. Maybe they're controlling the monsters. If they are, do you think we just have to take out the leader?
Let's get started, before it's too late.
How do they know how to control monsters, though?
The merchants could probably escape, but we gotta get rid of those enemies who are blocking the path.
Okay.
Look, a drawbridge. We can use that to cross, but we'll need to lower it first.
Rescue the merchants that you can get rewards depending on how many you help escape. Okay, well, I'm guessing these two don't really have a hero's relic. But despite that, I probably should try and go for the maximum possible rewards. So that's interesting. You kind of got 3 objectives here. 1, save the merchants. 2, defeat the monsters. Specifically this one. And 3, defeat the enemy commander. I mean, you could just rush to the Commander right off the bat, and Alliance Knights, okay. Yeah, I'd like to just compare the differences between Empire Knights, Kingdom Knights, and Alliance Knights on my own day someday, but today is not quite that day. Yeah, that could be a problem, because there's an archer down there, I didn't realize that, and there's also a... Yep. Okay, maybe I should try clearing the way beforehand. Except Hubert is also highly susceptible to dying if things attack him. I'm not used to fighting yellow enemies. Like, as in, you know, Alliance enemies. Although I get the feeling you'll be doing that quite a bit on some of the other routes. Even, I mean, I get the feeling you'll probably be fighting Alliance more on Claude's route than on Edelgard's, because from... Anyway, this paralogue is set before all that. I probably shouldn't be discussing any post-time skip stuff here.
Put me in there.
Just in case somebody's watching this, ahead of time. Okay, no doubling. That's fine. Tempest of Seasons is still a great song, but you all probably already knew that. Okay, if I go there, everyone attacks Raphael, but his defense is pretty solid. Yeah, it's kind of funny in that, basically, I feel like Dedue is actually better at... Whoa, you can go all the way through those forests. I guess Brawlers have really good movement cost. But anyway, like, so basically I feel like Dedue's better as a Brawler or a Grappler than as an Armor Knight, but Armor Knight and Fortress Knight are his, default post-time skip classes, or, you know, quote-unquote canon post-time skip classes. And then it's kind of the opposite for Raphael, because I kind of feel like he's probably better as a Fortress Knight than as a Grappler, because he seems really, really slow. His speed's kind of solid here, but he does seem kind of slow, so... And he does have a ton of HP, too. Well, that's bad.
Should have trained better.
Yeah, he's fine. So yeah, I do feel like he'd probably do well as a Fortress Knight, but... Yeah, he is canonically a Grappler, and I have to keep you away from those annoying archers. Okay, next phase is... Ignaz doesn't quite finish that guy. And if he goes there, he gets attacked by a bazillion things.
I stand ready.
Defense 16's not terrible. Probably don't want to use the steel weapon though, because that could result in getting doubled into oblivion. All these aggro lines. There's a lot of enemies on this map.
Oh no.
But at least... Oh yeah, by the way, I've got her some better weapons. Or did she have the killer bow last time? In fact, I'm pretty sure she had the killer bow last time.
Anywhere I can hide.
I was about to say, is she a sniper yet? And then I realized, oh, of course she's not. She's not level 20. Well, let's just put Byleth the Juggernaut down here.
You fought well.
That guy is stuck where he is. Actually, he might not be as much of a Juggernaut as I think. I think he's still fine, though. That does hurt me kind of badly, and if you hit me in return, then there's a not zero chance that this guy will kill me, which would end very badly, obviously. Also, Lorenz is suddenly, again, that meme where... Oh, but he's fine. He's way tankier than I thought he'd be. But yeah, that meme where there's like all those... Like in Tetris 99, where someone's ganging up on a specific person. Which I like to call stacks on insert character name here, which is actually a... I don't know if it's like an Australian thing. It might be. I mainly know the term from a certain Australian stand-up comedy duo that I doubt anyone here would know. Oh, he actually just barely survives. But I'm still probably going to physic him anyway. Just because.
Thank you.
Ignatz actually seems like a pretty decent character from what I've seen of him so far. And I like his voice too. I don't know if it's a voice actor that I really recognize, but it's a pretty good voice. So I have heard that he scored very, very low on that one Korean poll. Or at least he scored quite high on the most disliked list. And apparently that's because the Korean version defaults to Japanese voices, or at the very least a lot of Korean gamers like playing Japanese games with Japanese voice acting. And apparently Ignatz's Japanese voice is not very good, so that's part of why he got... wow, that was a cool dodge animation. Was kind of why he ended up on that list. Also, I have heard he's generally considered fairly mediocre in gameplay terms. I just barely don't finish you off, but that's probably a good thing because that saves experience for other people. You know, I might actually be able to recruit Raphael after this, come to think of it.
I think not.
I wonder if I should just straight up try and recruit everyone I didn't recruit on the Blue Lions route on this one, just to see if, like, I get... Like, I get this feeling there are probably not going to be any cross, Black Eagles, Blue Lions character paralogs that I didn't really get anyway. The grass kind of censored the blow there. Okay, we'll probably need to heal you, though. Definitely need to heal you. Good thing Dorothea learns Physic. Okay, so, Ignatz, you shall be our savior and rescue the Herpdirt villagers from their own stupidity.
I get things done.
But yeah, like, on the subject of him being kind of mediocre in gameplay, possibly, I'm still not 100% sure if that's, like, really true, because I haven't really used him all that much on this route, but I still feel like, yeah, apparently he's not great at everything except skill. Although apparently the growth rates of all three default archers are pretty much the same, those being Ash, Bernadetta, and Ignatz. And Bernadetta, as you can see, has not ended up particularly good for me on this run, so maybe all of them are just very RNG dependent, which, like, admittedly is pretty common for this game, because one thing that I don't think I've said in commentary yet, although I may have said it in the, because as of now I haven't actually uploaded the, my thoughts on the pre-time skip video, but I have this, okay, well, at least you won't die to that. I have this, so I might actually add this into that video, but I have a feeling that...
And I didn't even enjoy it.
Like, it's hard to make any real judgment calls about who's particularly good or bad in this game, because pretty much everyone is a growth unit, and thus is very RNG dependent. So, yeah. I don't really want to make any big calls on who's like, right now, I think the only people who most people who played this game, from what I can tell, who are considered, like, who are generally unanimously considered good, are... I wonder if Lawrence will be fine there. Can always rewind if he's not. He does get doubled by that guy. And by that guy, I mean the wolf, but it doesn't have a good hit rate against him. But anyway, yeah, like, the only people so far who I think are pretty much unanimously considered good are the main lords, Hilda, Lascivia, and Felix.
Think this'll work?
Okay, let's see if we can get an armor break off on you. Oh, we actually pushed him back with Disturbance. Well, Onslaught. Oh, I need to dance to get into... Although, she could at least try and smack this guy, probably with a better weapon. No. I have to use the Devil Sword. You must make a deal with the devil.
Flame Spirit, protect me.
Did she just say Great Spirit protect me? That must be part of their, yeah, part of that thing. Okay, I try and... No, that's bad. Hubert, however, could probably... Yeah, Hubert takes care of that guy pretty easily. Oh, except Mr. Big Wolf attacks him, doesn't he? If I do that, which might end very, very badly. Do I have a spell that just instantly... Oh, I have Dark Spikes now. Only 3... Well, I guess that's why it one-shots the Death Knight. Never actually used this before. But it's probably gonna... Yeah, that is heavy. Cue Back to the Future jokes, but anyway. Can't quite get you over there. I sort of want to get rid of both of them so I can actually have Raphael attack something and not die. I'm gonna go for Cyclone on Caspar. You know, if I plan this right, do I even need to heal Raphael? I don't know. Because Edelgard can't actually finish that guy, so it pretty much has to be...
If you say so.
No, he's not going to go there, because then a bajillion things attack him. I go here, though, and steal... that's bad hit rate. I mean, I only need to hit 2 out of 4 of these, so I could try. 1. Oh, wow, really lucky.
Sorry, don't know my own strength.
And I evidently don't know my own luck, because I underestimated it there. Okay, so now you can, I mean, Dork Spikes is overkill, so I may as well just do this. Actually, I can use Dork Spikes on the boss. That'd be a fitting way to use it for the first time.
This is harder.
This is harder than I expected. That's kind of a funny quote. Okay. Oh, you're gonna regenerate your barriers if I leave you alone. Which means... Yeah, the default dancer outfit, I feel, just doesn't look that great on Dorothea. But that'll probably change when she gets her post-time skip outfit. And I'm gonna gambit you twice in one turn.
All we've got.
Bring in the smarts.
Bring in smarts. I feel like as far as brawlers go...
Time to set my aims even higher.
Oh, that's something I didn't get on the other route. But yeah, as far as like the brawlers go, I feel like Caspar probably has higher intelligence than Raphael, but Raphael's still pretty cool. That's the wolf, isn't it? Yes, it is. You know, luring the wolf this way is probably not a bad idea, especially since it's the biggest threat to Lorenz right now. So, yeah, unarmed combat, you actually get access to that permanently if you master... well, I guess you probably have to be a... I'll have to check out what it does afterwards. I'm guessing you have to be, like, in a brawler or grappler class to actually use it, but that explains why unarmed combat isn't a thing for War Masters. Because you're kind of expected to have mastered... Oh, wow, really? 10 damage times 2. Is she really that weak defensively now? But yeah, it's kind of expected to be a, sorry, for a second, blanked out. It's expected to be... What are you doing? Oh. Herp derps be derpin' as usual. Really? Yeah, so I was just saying that you're kind of expected to master that before you go into the higher tiers of classes. Okay, Edelgard Gambit is going to hit all that area. Actually, yeah, that'll instantly break its armor. Of course, this wolf here still has 2 health bars left. I think Hubert's just barely in range of it. Okay, I think first things first, we need to focus on saving the herp derps. Do you have curved shot at all? Break shot? Oh, you do have curved shot. Break shot. -5 defense and haze slice, which is kind of cool. Hopefully this makes you guys less stupid. But now I pretty much need to get rid of as many of these things as possible. Because they're all going to be attacking the stupid herp derp villagers. Oh, I was worried about that. You don't double him. Is there somebody that you do double? That's extremely bad. I can just try and get rid of this guy. Because while these guys are no threat to me, they're definitely a threat to the villagers. Well, merchants, but same difference. If only these merchants were Fate's merchants and could actually fight decently well. Now, I get this feeling that Lorenz will probably... Yeah, he'll one-shot with a combat art. And...
You can't compete with me.
Lorenz fulfills his duty as a true noble, protecting the peasantry. However, said peasantry is still going to suffer a painful, horrible death unless I do... Wait a minute, 15, 12. That's 27, and you have... Actually, he will live. Although these enemy aggro lines don't say anything about the crit rate, so that could still potentially screw me over. Or I could try and kill a bow... Nah. I think this is as close as I can get. Oh, I should have used Stride. That would have got me to these guys more easily. I think it's probably fine. Come on, crit, please. No crit. But at least I didn't miss. It'd be really funny if the merchant actually finished off that guy. But I don't think he will. May as well kill you.
Appreciated.
Major crest of... Actually, I promised I wouldn't hint at post-time skip spoilers. But let's just say there's probably another name that I can call that crest. Okay, that's going to hit everything as well as the axe guy, or hit everything as well as the dark mage, which I should probably... the dark mage will probably get one-shotted by a lot of people easily, so I'm actually going to go for this.
We won't hold back.
Meanwhile, Flame just stands there. And that's satisfying. 3 Woods Steel. However, Edelgard might actually be in danger, so I may have to exercise Hubert's mission in life and make him... Wow, I just realized there's a really bad pun you could make out of that. He guards Edelgard! Yeah. I went ahead and said it. Is Dark Spikes... Is that considered effective or not? No, I don't think it is. The green... The blue in my attack, it just means, yeah. Miasma... What kind of gambit do you have? Group Lance attack. No. However, that guy is currently stuck due to being gambited, so I don't think I should make him a priority. I think my real priority should be other things. And I probably need to Physic Edelgard as well. Also, that's a heavy damage gambit, but it's not like it's going to actually... And I can't quite get to the one behind with that gambit, which is what I really want right now. Actually, if this is going to be the case, I should probably have Petra get the first hit in. Yeah, take this thing's... Oh, I shouldn't have been prioritizing this thing anyway, because it can't attack Edelgard this turn regardless, because, you know, its armor broken. That was... I should have thought that through. So in that case... Maya won't do it anyway. What about... Nope, Death will not do it. Alternatively, I could just bust through this thing's first health bar and then send Hubert down here to finish it off. Yeah, because otherwise Hubert is going to suffer horrible death, probably for the best. Yeah, these things have way more HP on hard mode, so that can get to be a bit of an issue sometimes. See, I'm mildly worried about Edelgard right now. I mean, alternatively, I could Gambit you. Yeah, that's probably better. Except Raphael can't even finish.
This is critical.
My plan is flawless.
If only you were slightly more charismatic, then your plan would be even more flawless. 3 more damage would have been necessary for that, and, well, that's probably bad, except it would actually die to the counterattack. So maybe leaving you for the time being is not the worst thing in the world. Oh, I was like, let me guess, you don't like magic in my head, but whoa boy, you really don't like magic. 0 resistance, that's even worse than I expected, and my expectations were not very high. Do you have like an elixir or something? Have a Volvinary. Okay, so just a hypothetical, if I do that, 5 times 2 plus, so she takes 20. But she has 28, and this thing doesn't attack, that thing doesn't attack. She's probably fine. Yeah, pretty sure she's fine. So that means that you can... Yeah, I'd probably rather dance for you, just so that Hubert gets a bit of experience here. Or I just use fire. When all else fails, use fire!
Hardly worth my time.
That's a quote from Zelda 2, by the way. Yes, they do indeed have crit rates. I think when all else fails, use fire was supposed to mean like enemies that are immune to other things are not immune to fire, but in practice, people thought that random NPC was a pyromaniac. Please don't be stupid. Okay, they're going for the bridge. Please don't let that guy actually attack the enemy. Oh, he just healed, okay. Well, I mean, he's still probably... Oh, okay. That's like one of the first times I've seen that. But anyway, yeah, he's still probably not gonna make saving him easy, but I'm in a decent position to do this now.
I thought I was dead.
Come on, get to level 20, please. You're really close. Does Lorenz double any of you? Doesn't look like it, so I'm probably going to need to... What happens if I use my... Nope, okay, yeah. If I'm going to combat out something, it has to be this guy. I'm going to have to repair this Iron Lance later, obviously. I think I've only recently realized that Tempest Lance is plus 8 might, which is kind of ridiculous, so it makes sense why it consumes that much durability, but it's funny, I've been using it for so long, and I've never really checked how much might it gives. Yeah, plus 8 might, which is very, very strong, obviously. Okay, so we should be almost done here. I think Byleth here actually might have more strength than he does on my other route where he's like level 40 nearly. At least this map like focuses on a different part of the map than the one back, than Lawrence's Paralog. So at least even if it's using the same map, it's still, I don't know, a little bit original, I guess. And we must defeat Mr. Big Wolf over here.
Good to go.
Funnily enough, Edelgard's barely done anything this chapter, but... I mean, I kind of like that, but on the other hand, that's not going to be good from an experience standpoint, so I should probably instead, hit you with the Debidu Sword, which reminds me of how,
I will not be stopping.
the ghoul's teeth from Shadow Dragon
My limit
is just
is
called
nearby.
Devil Mountain in Japanese. But like the this is kind of a weird tangent, but the Soothsayers is as the name of the bandits who live there is actually, like, I was looking at it, and it's actually a better translation than I thought it was. Okay, now in some games the Devil Axe has good accurate... Oh, it doesn't mean in this game, okay. But, yeah, so what I was saying is the like, Soothsayers is actually surprisingly a better translation than I thought it was. Because, it was more a case of, like... Actually more a case of the original translation being worse than I thought it was, so... They, I believe, were, like, most of the original... Why is she still like cooking a lance? Most of the original, like, fan translations I read of FE3 were referred to that group of bandits as the Samizians. And I was, like, thinking, wait, what? Like, why are they called that? That's just something weird. And then I thought when, you know, Shadow Dragon came out, why are they called the Soothsayers? That's, like, nothing like Samizians at all. And then I realized... the mountain was always meant to be called Samsooth Mountain, even in Japanese, but the original fan translation just mangled it to Samsufu or something like that. So it's actually called Samsooth Mountain in both Japanese and in English. And Samizians is meant to be kind of like, actually, I shouldn't say Saiyans because that was an English dub thing. They're called Saiyajin in Japanese. But Samizians was actually meant to be like people of Samsooth Mountain. And Soothsayers is exactly that in English, basically. Well, I mean, it's very flowery and practically Shakespearean, but it does mean the same thing. So, yeah, random tangent for the day, but that's the story of how I realized that Soothsayers is surprisingly a better localization than I gave it credit for. But again, partially because, in hindsight, the original translation was much worse than I gave it credit for. Yeah, some of those old fan translations of Fire Emblem games, looking back on them, not amazing. Like, in fact, it was just something that came up in sort of comments recently, but, Myrden, the Great Bridge of Myrden, that is actually the name of, like, Elfin's real name in Fire Emblem 6, the Prince of Uturia. And, of course, it's Myrden, because apparently Myrden comes from, like, I think, like, one of the original words for, like, the legend that inspired Merlin, and that makes sense, because Fire Emblem 7, well, you know, the Eleb, games are all about referencing Arthurian mythology, so of course they've thrown a reference to Merlin in there. Well, I mean, Merlinus is the much more obvious reference, but still. So, yeah, his real name being Myrden, makes sense. But when I first heard that, I was like, wait, what? That's his real name? And that's only because the original fan translation called him Mildian. It's not an entirely hard mistake to make with the Japanese, but still. It is definitely interesting, like, going back to all these fan translations and looking at things and realizing, like, sometimes Japanese katakana is much harder to interpret than you'd think it would be. And sometimes you need to do quite a lot of research into what it probably, like, what they were actually probably going for in order to... I'm gonna intentionally stall this map until these NPCs get off the map, so I have time for tangents. But, like, one example came when I was looking at a thing talking about the localization of Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, and there's a certain demon from that game who is, like, written as Persky. And, like, you know, when you look at it in terms of the Japanese katakana, Persky's... I can see where you get Persky from. It's like Purushiki.
Appreciated.
So, like, Persky, yeah, that sounds kind of like a legitimate translation of the katakana there. But then, of course, if you actually did your research into Hindu mythology, you would know that that thing is very obviously meant to be... Let me actually check and see if I've got the right thing. Pulukishi. Yeah, that's actually, and it's a Nepali name. But, again, like, without the context, it's not hard to assume that's what the katakana were going for. I may as well just use Raphael on you.
Plenty more where that came from.
But, you know, with the context, obviously that's not what it was meant to be, because, yeah, katakana can be very, very ambiguous sometimes, and let's not even get into kanji. Like, there's that one character from Toho who, is used to be, not exactly debated, it was more like jokingly, meanly debated, in that, like, the kanji in her name, I think, could have been read as either something like Kurenai Misuzu or Hong Mei Ling, depending on whether you wanted to read it as Japanese or Chinese, so no one knew what to actually call her. But anyway, hopefully a special boss conversation.
What do you think you're doing?
Don't get in the way of our duty.
Your duty? You're letting monsters wreak havoc on innocent people.
Shut it. It's got nothing to do with you.
Okay. Well, Ignatz is clearly angry, because he's got a 15 crit rate for some reason. Then I guess I'll try and see Raphael's special boss quote later. I was about to say special crit quote. It'd be kind of cool if characters in Fire Emblem had special crit quotes against each other. But anyway... Oh, I was going to Dark Spikes the boss, wasn't I? I can wait. So yeah, that article on Nocturne was interesting because it shows that, like, back when that game was originally localized, I think it was like 2003, 2004, so, like, the internet was not quite as big as it was now. You couldn't just Wikipedia mythology, you actually had to do quite a bit of research, and the localizers would have also had to take into account, like, which myths were well known in Japan, because then it would be more likely they would have actually been used for inspiration, so, yeah. Anyway, I have to beat you this turn if I do this, but I feel pretty confident that I can. Oh, no special boss dialogue with Raphael, unless you can only get one of them. Oh, you have speeds. You've actually got a surprisingly large number of skills for just a generic boss. However, it will not save you from this. That looks cooler than I thought it would. I thought it would just erupt from the ground. I was about to say now you know how Mega Man feels, but that's more like Kurim's Glaciate.
I'm not looking forward to telling the Count.
Looks like we took care of him.
Interesting.
That man mentioned the Count. What could Count Gloucester have to do with all this?
And Lawrence is right here, so he's probably like, oh great, what did my relative do this time? Victor Private Military. Private Military, owned by that antagonist from Tales of Exilia 2.
Thank you so much. We're safe now, and it's all due to your efforts. I can't bear to think what might have happened if you hadn't shown up.
Yay! A happy ending for everyone.
If you don't mind me asking, were you headed to the Regan Dukedom?
We were. We traveled around the Alliance selling our wares. I heard this route was dangerous, but...
Dangerous, you say? Are you referring to the recent cases of merchants being attacked on that route?
That's right. We can't turn a profit without going to Deirdre. I don't know what Count Gloucester's thinking.
So wait, it literally is trade carts in an Age of Empires game getting attacked.
I had a feeling it might be. You're certain?
Looks that way. I think he's unhappy with merchants contributing to House Regan's wealth. It seems like he's been at odds with them forever. They say even the previous Duke Regan's death...
Was that the Count's fault too?
It's only a rumor. But it was Count Gloucester himself who lured the late Duke Regan out. If I recall correctly, he invited the Duke to his estate to strike a deal on some valuable art pieces.
And I'm guessing that ended with the former Duke Regan accidentally brutally stabbing himself in the chest while shaving.
I believe the Duke brought a pair of merchants with him to assess the pieces in question. But...
that was probably Raphael's parents.
Alas, it seems those merchants lost their lives alongside him. A terrible misfortune. I wish these nobles wouldn't get us common folk mixed up in their feuds. You came from Garreg Mach, right? I'll send some wares your way as thanks for all your help.
Yeah, that was my ma and pa.
My parents received the request initially, but they had other business.
Luckiest other business ever, I guess.
They recommended Raphael's parents as substitutes.
Oh, that's...
We could never have imagined. Yes, he's Lawrence's father.
Okay, that's enough of that. It's just a rumor, right? So who cares? Even if it's true, that's our parents' business. It's got nothing to do with us.
But you...
You got no idea what really happened, right, Ignatz? And I bet Lawrence doesn't know either. The way I see it, it was monsters that killed my parents. They died in an accident. I got no reason to hate anyone or blame somebody else for their deaths. I don't have time for that. I got my little sis to worry about instead.
Raphael...
Now that that's settled, let's head back. Where do you think that merchant's gonna send us? I hope it's food.
Yes, he really is.
Well, post-time skip Dimitri could definitely learn from him. And these are probably the rewards for saving the merchants. Well, those are really good rewards. No hero's relic, though. But that was sort of obvious. So, yeah, that was a pretty good paralogue overall, and we found out some more things about the Alliance. Why do I get the feeling that most of that isn't going to get closure unless you're on the Golden Deer route? Maybe? Like, I don't know. Because, like, really, logically speaking, on the blue... I knew I promised I shouldn't be doing post-time skip spoilers, but we should have probably fought Lawrence's father in that chapter on the Blue Lions route instead of... Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So that was a pretty good paralogue, and Raphael's interesting because it's not often that you see a character who has clear reasons to go on a revenge crusade and then just straight up refuses. They're like, no, I refuse to hate anyone for what happened. It's really interesting. And Ignatz is not a bad character either, I find, and I haven't even seen much of him so far. So, like, that was a good paralogue overall. Story-wise, it's probably one of my favorites, and they even gave Ignatz a special conversation with the boss. That's really cool. So yeah, I quite like that one.